Developing news right now on police reform. Good evening and thanks for joining us on this Thursday night. I'm Dennis House. The state legislature plans to take up the topic when it convenes a special session this summer. In the meantime, some cities are not waiting. Today, Hartford Mayor Luke Bronin announced a potentially big change in public safety. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Mike Savino is live outside Hartford City Hall now. So, Mike, what exactly is the capital city going to do?
Well, Dennis, Bronin wants to create a new civilian community response team. This would be a group of specialists who would respond to emergency calls when there isn't necessarily a public threat present at the time. Of course, this isn't intended to replace policing. Rather, it's intended to reimagine how police get used.
Officers may not be the best ones to respond or to respond first.
People across Connecticut and nationwide continue to demand police reforms after George Floyd was killed by a Minneapolis police officer on May 25th. Some of those include changing the way cities respond to public emergency calls. Today, Hartford officials announced a plan to do just that.
We believe that this is a time to commit ourselves to reform across the board.
Mayor Luke Bronin today announcing a new civilian community response team. Once formed, the team will respond to calls that don't pose an immediate public health risk, offering services for mental health and substance abuse. Bronin approved $500,000 to plan and develop the unit. That includes studying what the team should look like. He pointed to Eugene, Oregon as a possible model. He also plans a total of $5 million in funding over the next 4 years. Hartford Common Councilors voiced their support for the funding commitments.
We can now create a team where we can create a systems of care.
Bronin said the funding will not come from the police department in the initial years. He doesn't think the new unit will result in staffing cuts for police.
We need police. We will continue to need police, and we need a police department that is adequately staffed.
Also Thursday, Majority Leader T.J. Clark said he plans to submit a resolution during Monday's Common Council meeting declaring racism in Hartford a public health emergency.
I think it's time that we address some of these disparities that have been plaguing black communities for quite some time.
We reached out to the Hartford Police Union today, but so far we have not heard back. Also coming up on Monday's council meeting, Clark says he wants to introduce a resolution to recognize Juneteenth as a holiday here in the city. That day celebrates June 19th, 1865, when a federal order was read in Texas, freeing the last of the slaves after the Civil War. Reporting live from Hartford, Mike Savino, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.